and welcome to Orion Today. I'm Joe Johnson, and for the first time, I'm joined by Matt Pfeiffer right here on the set. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for letting me. Not many people give me a microphone, so thank you. I appreciate it.
I've seen you on a microphone a few times.
Maybe. That's why people don't let me on it.
Well, welcome. Summer's in full swing. I think the official first day of summer is this Thursday, which happens to coincide with the Township's Summer Sizzle event.
Yeah.
It'll be happening right out back here at the Orion Center.
Very popular event.
And,
it's going to be hot.
It is. We're going through a heat wave right now, which I don't complain about because I'm still suffering from PTSD from the winter. I hate winter, and it's still fresh in my mind. So I kind of like the heat. Do you like it hot? I mean, you're on the lake, so
yeah.
you
To
just
me,
go out
I mean,
there
I was
door,
out riding
jump in.
this morning, riding bicycle on the trails. I love my our trails, and sweating like crazy. And I stopped by the township to do a little bit of work. And I was, of course, a sweaty mess. And I was like, are you crazy riding in this? I'm like, no, that's what it's for. I love the heat, but I do think our seasons really are ideal because, by the end of summer, I'm ready for the cool down. And by the end of winter, I'm ready for the warm up. I lived in Hawaii for a year when I was a young man. And the weather every day, mid-80s, sunny. Sky was beautiful. It never rained. It rained once in the town I lived in, and I got bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
Bored out of my mind. I think we need the seasons, or I need them.
Yeah.
And so I'm thankful we have them.
That happened to me. I lived in California in 89, 90, and the first month or so coming from Michigan, I'm like, this is awesome. It's beautiful every day. Yeah. And then a few months into it, I'm sitting at home on my couch watching TV, and it's a beautiful day outside. I'm like, it'll be beautiful tomorrow. You take it for granted.
I crave a rainy day after a few nice days. It's like I feel too guilty to be inside on the nice days, but give me a rainy day so I can just be inside.
That's right. Yeah. Now this past weekend was Father's Day weekend. Now I lost my dad when I was young, and I don't have any kids, so I was just running around by myself. But you're a dad. What was your Father's Day weekend like?
Well, it was busy like everything every day, but for me, I got to see my kids, which my kids are adults now, and so my daughter was home for the weekend, and she moved to Boston on Father's Day. They actually left at 2:30 in the morning, so I didn't get to see her on Father's Day, but I got to see her the couple days up till, and they are now living in downtown Boston. But my son was out for the day, and my girlfriend, and we had a great day out on the lake. And it was a beautiful day for that. Any time with the kids once they're grown up is precious time, and I'm very, very thankful for it.
Now I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, but you just told me a story before we went live. Are you okay sharing the discovery you just made
Joe.
5 years ago? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's actually, about 5 years ago, might have been 5.5. I did a DNA test kind of on a lark. And I knew I was just going to be reinforced, that I'm an Irishman, because that's what I was always told. And that DNA test came back, and I had no Irish in me, and I had I was 51% Jewish. So I called my sister first. I said, "Hey, did you know we're Jewish?" And she's like, "Well, we're probably not Jewish. You might want to talk to your mom." So I did a little digging, and turns out that the dad who I thought was my dad wasn't my dad. My Irish dad wasn't my dad. I didn't really know him anyway because he left when I was a young man. I was 3, so young boy, young toddler, what do you call it? So with some digging, I met a cousin who lived over in Farmington Hills, Bloomfield area, and then I met an aunt through her. And then I met them at a Panera Bread over in Bloomfield, and we did a live video with my dad.
Wow.
And so I met my dad for the first time via live video a little over 5 years ago. He lives out in California, Southern California. And I flew out to see him within a few weeks of that because I've got a dad I didn't know about. And he didn't know about me either.
That's weird.
And so I went out and I got to meet some new siblings, a brother and 2 of 3 sisters that I have now, and I got to spend some time with him, and it was really a a very cool experience. So I do have a dad now for Father's Day. I really haven't had one most of my life.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a cool thing.
What a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had something similar happen. I went through an Ancestry.com phase for a little bit and found out all kinds of cool information, and it was fun doing the detective work. But I had someone reach out to me who had been on Ancestry.com, and we were chatting through Facebook. She found me on Facebook, and when I finally stopped her and said, "What is this all about?" she said, "I'm your sister." Now, I have 2 younger sisters and an older brother. Apparently, we have another sibling that my dad didn't know about, we didn't know about. We have since connected, we've met, we went to Vegas, she came out to visit me for my 50th birthday. And so it's one day you're just bored at work, and then all of a sudden you find out you have another sibling or you have a dad, and life takes some crazy turns sometimes.
It was shocking. It was shocking. One of the coolest bits that we have, if we have time, but
Sure.
When I went out to visit, spent some time with him and my brother, new brother, who had passed away since then, and a couple of my sisters, and we're going through a lot of photo albums at his home. And I found a photo, and it was had in writing Lake Orion, 1931. So I talked to him about it, and he was with it was my dad, who looked like me at 5 years old, just a big towhead afro, and he's standing in the water in Lake Orion, over by the cabins, with his aunt at the time. With his aunt, and no connection to Lake Orion, and he didn't know about me, I didn't know about him, and we meet, and he has a picture in this album of him standing in the lake that I live on, in the community I love and was born and raised in. So really cool coincidence. It's a small world. A lot of people, as we all know, where living as a vacation came out of, people used to vacation here, and he lived in the inner city with his dad, who owned an apothecary downtown, which is basically a pharmacy back then, a little more natural and rustic, and they would come out and vacation out here, and that was a picture of him, looked just like me, right here in the lake that I live on now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
I have a grandfather that I never met. My grandfather on my father's side. I've never met either one of my grandfathers, because my one grandfather was in Spain, where my mom came from. But my father's father I had never met. And as I was doing the Ancestry.com, trying to figure out where he went and what his life was like, I found out that he was buried in Lapeer. And so I drove out to Lapeer, and he has an unmarked grave, which is kind of sad, but the person at the cemetery showed me where it was, and I left some flowers and stuff. But it's weird finding these connections on Ancestry that you would never know about.
Yeah, I think there would be a lot of people that would be surprised what they found if they were to go through it. So you got to you've got to kind of be prepared for that, because there's a lot of stories like ours. And Spain, I can see it actually in you, and I've spent a lot of time in Spain. Over the years, I'm a travel, I love to travel. I love to go out and see the world. And man, what a beautiful country. Have you spent much time there since?
Well, we went out there once when I was in elementary school. My mom wanted us to meet her family, so we spent an entire summer in her hometown, pronounced Jerez de la Frontera.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I've never heard of it.
You got a picture of you in the lake.
In the lake there.
It's the sherry capital of the world. And so went out there, and it was, as a kid, you're seeing a lifestyle that's so different than what we were used to
It'd
here.
be Western Spain?
I don't
think
think
sherry, because you've got port, which is in Portugal, and it seems to me it might be over that way. But wow, what a cool story.
Awesome.
Well, you need to. Are you going back? Do you have a? Is
I
it
don't
on your
know.
list?
I don't even have a passport right now. But my sisters have gone back a couple of times, and we've had family from Spain come visit us, which was cool. And I'll never forget when our cousins came to visit, and they stayed at my sister's house, who has a kind of a modest house, not anything we would consider a mansion. But when my cousins came here from Spain, they're looking around my sister's house, and they go, Rica? And we're like, what? They were asking my sister, are you rich? They thought that her home was a mansion. And we're like, no, this is a typical American home. So,
we are very lucky, aren't we? And one of the things I love about travel is you get such a true perspective of who we are and where we are in the world. I will say there's a lot of things that I think they do a lot better in other parts of the world than we do that we should learn from.
Yeah, right.
But I also am always excited to come home and realize how freaking lucky we are. I mean, just to be born here, to live here, we are the lucky ones, and I thank my lucky stars for being here.
I do continue to say that we live in the greatest country in the world. Yeah. I still firmly believe that.
As hard as that gets on some days, some news cycles, I agree fully.
Yeah.
And we live in a little hamlet that happens to be the best of the best.
It is.
That's Orion Township.
Speaking of Lake Orion being a special community, there's been all kinds of activities that have been happening over the past few weeks, and a really, really busy week coming up this week, which we're going to talk more about later on in this program. But over the past couple of weeks, I covered a couple of events. One was the library's summer reading kickoff, which is just an excuse to have a huge party over at the library. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. And then this past Friday, Lake Orion and Oxford teamed up to have a 80s night. Were you in downtown Lake Orion on 80s night?
I wasn't. My schedule's
80s?
been crazy, but I saw some of the coverage of it, and wow, it was really cool. I think Matt Gibb in his outfit down there, our DDA director, looked sharp as ever, and I love the events we have downtown have grown so much, have become, we have all these great things to look forward to throughout the year. I mean, even like the Thursday cornhole, what a great vibe downtown on Thursday nights with that going on. And of course, I know what's coming up is one of our biggest, if not our biggest event downtown, which is always a good time. But yeah, I really feel like we're in a very good place as a community in terms of mature events that are well attended, incredibly well run, and mostly by volunteers. Most of these things are volunteer efforts.
Charity fundraisers,
Yeah, it just shows how great a community we live in, that so many people are willing to give their time, their sweat and money to make all these things happen. As residents, not and business leaders and community leaders, but it's really a wonderful thing that we have going.
Yeah, well, it definitely keeps me busy because I'm out there covering these events. So let's take a look at these two events back to back. The second segment was put together by our intern Lexi, who is hoping to have a career in news. So let's take a look at those videos right now.
Three, 2, 1, go!
On the afternoon of Saturday, June 8th, the Orion Township Public Library invited the community to come out to their summer reading kickoff. The theme was Adventure Begins at Your Library, and visitors enjoyed games, crafts, inflatables, and even food trucks. There were circus performers, and local organizations set up stations offering information, activities, and freebies. The goal is to encourage readers of all ages to continue reading books all summer long.
Our summer reading program is online, and we also have a bingo sheet for kids. It kicks off today. It runs through August 3rd, so kids can do reading challenges and library-related activities to earn bingo squares, and adults can do library challenges weekly to earn prizes and free books.
How is this all possible?
Lots of ways this is possible, mostly through our Friends of the Library organization. We also have a couple sponsorships from community organizations like Kids Tooth Team and Flip Spot, and then we also got a grant through Michigan Humanities Council to fund this.
On Saturday, May 4th, the library experienced a minor electrical fire that forced the building's closure. The staff worked frantically to reopen the building, and on Thursday, June 6th, the library reopened to the public just days before the summer reading kickoff.
Yeah, it's exciting having this crowd at a library. You know, you don't think of libraries to be this crowded, but to be able to do this party and to have this beautiful property to do it outside of the library, it's just amazing to see that this many people are interested in reading and kind of expanding their knowledge through the summer.
The summer reading program comes to an end on August 3rd with a big finale that includes prizes and live reptiles. For more information, visit orionlibrary.org. In Orion Township, this is Joe Johnson reporting for ON TV News.
On the evening of Friday, June 14th, the downtown streets of Lake Orion and Oxford were totally tubular with bright neon colors, leg warmers, and fanny packs being the dress code for Ladies of the 80s, Ladies' Night. With summertime in full swing, Lake Orion's DDA collaborated with their neighbors to the north, Oxford, to welcome everyone in both communities to enjoy shopping, food, and 80s-themed drinks. And there was even a replica of Kit from the classic 80s TV show Knight Rider.
I tell you, we are so fortunate to have Oxford DDA as a partner. Again, we kind of refer to them as our sister city. And Kelly and Kimberly and their interns and their board and their business owners. I mean, everybody is just so wonderful to work with. And so again, to be able to present these events together and find synergy in that and presenting it to both Lake Orion and to Oxford, we're very fortunate to be able to do that.
With local shops and restaurants coming together to offer a blast from the past, the Funky Fresh festivities began at 5 p.m. with a check-in station offering fanny packs filled with coupons, and the trolley shuttled partygoers between both downtown areas. From the music, to the dancing, to classic films, those who attended shared their favorite memories and icons from the 80s.
I think what I love most about the 80s is just the freedom to express yourself. The freedom just to be who you are. You didn't have to fit into a mold.
It's a great time to grow up through the 80s because, you know, prosperity was good and things felt safe, and the 80s were great, man. And the best music ever created was the 80s.
The Stronger Together campaign has brought Lake Orion and Oxford together since 2022, encouraging the communities to support one another.
So the fact that we can now collaborate together and really offer something to both communities, but use our same marketing on just one event is huge. It not only saves the DDAs money, but it's also best for the community. We have so many people who live in Oxford and work in Lake Orion or vice versa. So it's really important for them to see us all together. It's 2.3 miles downtown to downtown on the trolley, so it just makes sense, and I'm so glad that we formed the partnership and got to do this.
For more information or to find dates for other upcoming events this summer, visit downtownlakeorion.org. From downtown Lake Orion, I'm Lexi McKinney reporting for ONTV News.
So yeah, lots going on, and this upcoming weekend is one of the biggest here in Lake Orion. Traditionally, 4th of July weekend and the week leading up into 4th of July weekend has always been just huge here in Lake Orion. That's been the big weekend of the year. And part of that whole celebration is the Lake Orion Lions Jubilee, which is always a blast, and people describe it as a homecoming for Lake Orion residents who come back to see friends and family. And joining us now is Joe and Chris from the Lions Club, who are here to talk about the Jubilee. Welcome, guys.
Thanks. Thanks for having us.
So, what do you got planned this weekend? Things kick off on Thursday?
Thursday, 5 o'clock?
I think that's correct.
Yep, 5 o'clock we kick off the carnival rides till about 10, and then we open noon to 12 Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday noon to 6.
Okay. Is Skirbeck back with all the rides and games and everything?
Oh yes, yep. We've had them. We've been using them since 2010. Great company to work with. They're Michigan-based, so you can't ask for anything better.
Yeah. So what can a visitor expect when they show up in downtown Lake Orion?
Oh, the typical carnival rides. I'm sure they'll have the Ferris wheel. The pirate ship's always a big attraction. I don't know what new ones they have this year. Do you know?
I wasn't given a list yet, but I know they're talking about the slide. We're also going to have the carnival games over off the Broadway area, on the south side of Broadway there. We're also going to have a scavenger hunt for the kids on Saturday. So all the young kids, we're going to be doing a good scavenger hunt that we've got set up. I'll be helping one of the other members lead that. It's noon on Saturday. We'll be meeting downtown right there at the at Flint and Broadway. Okay. So
it's going to be warm. Will there be a place where adults can get beverages?
Well, we don't have air conditioning in the beer tent, but it's a wide open beer tent. We've got some live entertainment, local entertainment, performing both Friday and Saturday nights down there. And of course, all the wonderful restaurants in downtown will have their ACs on, so if you want to get a quick bite to eat or something alcoholic not from the beer tent, I'm sure the local businesses will appreciate that.
Yeah, they're going to be very popular, I think, this year with the heat, that crossover. But what would you guys say is the most popular part of the Jubilee? I mean, I've been going to it for many years. I think, if I remember correctly, you said the original kind of started in 1980?
In 1976, they started it. They had a festival to coincide with the bicentennial over the 4th of July weekend. And then starting in 1980, they started a festival. I'm not sure if they had a carnival, but over the years it grew into a big carnival with a beer tent, and it grew from there. I think we've only missed 1 year since the 20 years I've been involved in it. That was due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
But nobody had one that year.
Right.
There was a period of time where it moved over to Canterbury when there was road construction going on in downtown Lake Orion.
Yep, we had a challenge in 2010 where we had to move it, and we ended up going to Canterbury Village. The Aldrich family was very gracious in letting us host it there. And then in 2014, when they sold the Christmas barn to the church, we were able to relocate back downtown, and it was very well received from the business community. We worked with the DDA, they did a survey, and there was overwhelming support for us to come back downtown. And seeing the difference between Canterbury and downtown, it's just, downtown was the place for it to be.
Yeah, that's where it belongs.
So it's, the rest, as they say, is history. It's been great.
Now, how does the Lions Club benefit from the Jubilee? I mean, every year we say it's the largest fundraiser of the year. Is that true? How does it benefit the Lions Club?
Well, it goes to support our community-based programs. I mean, our biggest signature project of the year that almost the whole community probably knows about is our Christmas basket program. I know you filmed it. I know we've seen you there, Matt, helping out packing boxes. I mean, we deliver food to 200 plus families. About another 75 to 100 senior citizens benefit from it. The whole community comes out. It's a huge undertaking. We get volunteers from the high school, we have elementary students. We even had the volunteer children from the Pine Tree Elementary to come out and help put our boxes together. Throughout the year, we've got our Kids Site program, which we're going to have a Kids Site trailer downtown during the Jubilee to test for eyesight issues with the little ones. It's the only project that we do to help prevent blindness. Everything we seem to do is to help blind people through leader dog and other things. But the Kids Site helps catch eye problems with these young kids very early in their life and can help prevent major issues down the road.
Yeah. I saw that there's going to be some leader dogs on site over the weekend. Talk about the Lions Club's relationship with leader dogs for the blind.
The leader dog was founded through the Lions Club back in, I think it was around the same time we were formed in 1938. And it was based out of Rochester, and it's grown international. One of our members in our club has raised several leader dogs over his career. They take the puppies and they raise the puppy raisers will take care of the dog for about a year. And one of his is over in Spain, helping a blind person get around town and live, having the leader dog, with them. So,
yeah, that's a great program. It's really awesome.
Yeah. So we'll have some puppies down there. The puppies need to be around crowds to gain the skills to be around crowds when they're dealing with a blind person, taking them around, because they have to travel with the person forever, basically. So they have to deal with the crowds, and the Jubilee is a perfect atmosphere for that kind of stuff, with the loud noises from the carnival and the music and the crowds.
You guys also collect used eyeglasses and distribute those. Is that still part of your mission? I know you used to do that.
Oh yes, we still do that. In fact, one of our members was able to find a couple of used mailboxes that.
I thought I saw one maybe by the Wonder Cleaners.
Yep,
that's the one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool because I don't know about you. Well, I wear glasses at night because I wear contacts during the day. But yeah, when I've got old glasses, I've never known what to do with them. And having an outlet that's actually going to help somebody else. And if they're like scratched or things like that, you guys do repairs, or there's still value to them?
They evaluate them.
Okay, so we should donate them. And then you guys can determine if they can be used.
We collect them, and then we have a regional member with the District of Michigan. They take them, and then they send them out to the California area because the eyeglasses are actually sent overseas. And
really?
Yeah, because we just have to follow some of the rules with the eyeglass associations.
Yeah, it's basically against the law to recycle them in the United States.
No,
so we don't do any of them in here. So we gather them up. They do over, I think it's Muskegon area. They have a group out of Muskegon that does it. And then besides the yellow mailbox there with the Lions logo on it, there are all the eyeglass companies in the Oxford and Lake Orion area that we have one member goes around every month, and anyone can just donate their glasses there. And then we collect them, gather them all up, send them out to Muskegon, and then they take them, send them out to California after they've cleaned them and checked them over. And if they're damaged, we take the damaged parts out. But we do what we can. But it's more of just paying it forward to other people is what we're trying to do.
So we're all one community. If
right, and we're international, so it's also going to the overseas. So therefore, it's helping the clubs that are our international brothers and sisters over there.
And you guys started about sight and helping the blind, but I know that every time I'm involved in something to help our community, you guys are involved. So is there a scope to your mission, or if people need help, Lions are there? It's what it feels like to me anyway.
We're a community service organization. Back, I forget, it was sometime in the 20s, Helen Keller addressed the Lions Club International Convention and challenged us to be leaders of the blind. So that's how we got involved, with the blind. And then several years later, she addressed us again and asked us to help with hearing. So we also provide hearing aids for people.
Okay.
We'll help people with that too, as well as providing eyeglasses. That's where a lot of our funds go to, providing eyeglasses for those in need. Somebody will contact our eyeglass chairperson and say, so-and-so, I need glasses, and we'll send them to a local eye doctor who provides the diagnosis, and we pay the bill.
You guys are fantastic. Thank you.
Now you mentioned Wonder Cleaners a moment ago. Is that the same location where they're selling flares?
Yeah.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
Which is a fundraiser for
that's
you
one
guys
of our
too.
members.
Yeah. Talk about Flare Night.
Flare Night is going to be on the Friday,
July 5th.
July 5th.
Yep.
They're selling flares to the residents on the lake, and we do it every year. In fact, we've even set a record for the most flares around a populated lake, to where the whole lake just turns red with the
so
flow.
cool.
I mean, it's beautiful, and but we're selling them again this year. We do it every year. They sell them at Wonder Cleaners. They also have some members that go out on a boat on the lake, sell them right there for the residents there.
Yeah.
And we're selling them until we're sold out. We do it every year, and we sell out every year.
I got my case.
So,
thank you.
Yeah. You're
but
welcome.
we just it's another fundraiser that we use, and the money goes to our general funds, and we've also put aside to earmark for next year's flares. But it's just also a way of the community getting together. It's what we're trying to do too. Besides helping the community, we want to show that we're out here to help, but be part of the community. And that's what we want to do. We want people to know that we're here to help if we can, with everything that we can do. But if we can't do certain things, we'll contact other groups or organizations that can help us help them. It's mainly sometimes we're a starting step for someone, and if we can't do it, we'll send them into the right direction. We're not just going to push someone off. We always try to help someone get the right step and where they need to go.
Now, I cover Flare Night every year, and I did a little research that it started during or after World War II. It was kind of a celebration of the end of World War II, and it's been going on ever since.
Kidding.
Yep.
Yeah, and I set up over at Pelton's Point, waiting at like 10 p.m. to see them all get lit up, and it is a spectacle. It is really amazing to see, and maybe I can talk Jenny over at the township to get the drone up in the air this year and really get a nice aerial shot of the lake, because it is red flares as far as the eye can see around.
A couple
the
years ago,
perimeter.
our chairperson, Rick Rice, I think they paid a pilot to fly over Lake Orion.
No
It was
kidding.
the year they were trying to get in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Right.
And they had pictures from it, and I think the guy, his pay was being able to sell the pictures. Some of those pictures still might be on our website.
Wow, I'd
We
love
just
to see
redesigned our
those.
website, so and I think some of those pictures are still there. But there are some pictures. If you get a hold of Rick, he might be able to get you a picture.
Yeah,
Here,
I'd
show
like to share it out. Well, I'm actually going to try and drag this guy out onto the lake to see it up close and travel around. And I bet you we could get Lee Smith, who's always willing to jump in and help, who's getting very good with his drone. We could probably get him to join us, and we could do a double. Get the drone and your footage.
I gotta say, being on a pontoon on the lake on 4th of July weekend is a tough job, but somebody's gotta do it. And I step up, give of my time to be on that pontoon.
You know, nobody puts more in all seriousness, you're at everything, and you are amazing, but I promise to, keep us safe. And it is a wild night on the lake, because, our lake can get crowded on the weekends. It is never more crowded than what you see on the flare night and fireworks night. And when you're driving around, you definitely have to be on your game. It is not for the timid, because there are boats everywhere. Well, and there are many that don't they don't know what the rules are to follow. But it is such a great energy, and obviously you guys are a huge part of making this happen in the tradition. One of the things that you had mentioned was the scavenger hunt. So we'll get back to because this is just a few days away. I mean, you guys, I think you said tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock, you're going to be downtown getting to work?
Me and a couple dozen volunteers from the Lions Club are going to be out at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm actually the chairperson this year for the Jubilee. I'm one of the 2 chairs. There's actually 3 of us. I'm in with the carnival side and activities. Then when Lion Roger is doing the beer tent, and then have Lion Dan, who's helping me and Roger together, and I'm trying to help them with the beer tent too. But we're doing all that tomorrow morning. We're going to have the carnival set up, and then fortunately the roads are going to be blocked downtown. I'm sorry, folks.
It's worth it.
But
we have patient citizens.
Yeah, and then we have fire marshal coming out just to check everything and make sure we have room for in case there's an incident or something that we can get the emergency needs if we need them out there. But it's something we have to do, but we're going to do it, and plan to have everything packed up by Sunday night and afternoon, get it all cleaned up and get the streets back open as soon as we can.
Well, you guys do an amazing job with that. But for that scavenger hunt, just for those, because obviously a lot of people, there's kids are out of school, they're looking for ways to occupy them. So I just want to make sure that this information is clear to them. On the scavenger hunt, they just show up, or is there any pre-registration they need to do for that?
We're just going to meet downtown right at Flint and Broadway at noon on Saturday.
Okay.
And we're going to have some volunteers. I'll be out there too. We'll make announcements for it. And then we have the kid site trailer, so if parents need get their kids' eyes checked, a lot of schools and doctors are using the test results as a clearance for their vision test and all that.
It's fantastic.
And then for the adults, Friday night and Saturday night, we have live entertainment in the beer tent. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys. It's adults only after 8 p.m. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and sneak in anyway.
I'll have to talk to the other Lions about that.
Yeah, Roger might put his hand up.
Yeah, you're a politician now. You've got to be careful with you guys.
One of my favorite I love to volunteer, love to be involved in things, and I've bartended a few times for the beer tent, and that is a lot of fun. I mean, it's busy. You are working. You're a sweaty mess because, I mean, you have to keep up a pace. Those lines, will form if you don't keep up. But you guys do such a good job of drawing people downtown, which we know roll over to the businesses and support them. So really thankful that we have such an active group of Lions here in Orion to continue to make it the wonderful place it is.
Yeah. As we wind things down here, do you want to give out some quick contact information if anyone has any questions or are interested in membership? Where can they go?
Our website, lakeorionlions.org. It's newly updated, so it's got lots of new information. One of our newer members was able to spend quite a bit of time updating it, and also follow us on Facebook.
Yep.
That's the best place to get updated information.
And our calendar events are up there too. So, and then we meet every first and third Wednesday of the month, except for July and August is our off season. But people want to come out and volunteer or join up. We're taking invitations for anyone that wants to come. They can call our number, or they can come to Johnny Black's on the first or third Wednesday of the month. In fact, tomorrow
night's our
last
meeting of the
meeting.
year.
And so we're open. Come on out, take a look, let us know. We'll give you an application, and then we can give you information more like that. You can also contact us through our website or even our Facebook, and we'll gladly accept people and all that. We even have a Lioness Club too.
Okay, great. All right, well, thanks for coming out, guys. You're doing great work in the community, and we're happy to help you spread the word, get the word out of what you're doing.
We appreciate all you do to help support our projects.
Thanks for helping us too, because without you, our word wouldn't get out.
we do our best. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to throw it to our Lake Orion sports update. I don't know if you heard, Lake Orion girls softball made the state championship game a few days ago.
Yeah, pretty exciting. What an amazing season they had. I mean, obviously, there's probably some that are bummed they weren't able to cap it with that final win, but wow.
Yeah.
To go through that season and continue to knock teams out like they did, very impressive.
Yeah. So here's Joey Tysick with this week's sports wrap-up.
Hello and welcome back to Lake Orion Sports Update. I'm your host Joey Tysick, and today we're back as the spring sports season is officially over and we recap each team's playoff run. We've got updates on girls soccer, along with boys and girls lacrosse and softball. As mentioned in the last episode, the Lake Orion girls varsity soccer team finished their season on a 9-game winning streak that led them to face off against Lapeer on May 23rd for their first round playoff matchup. Lake Orion's offense kept the hot streak going as they beat the Lightning 5-1. This would lead to a rivalry match against Crosstown Oxford. This was also a big game because Lake Orion lost to Oxford early in the season 2-3. So the teams were familiar, and it's always a tough matchup. This was definitely an all-time classic. Lake Orion won the match 6-5 in overtime, with Lake Orion winning on a final corner kick. An incredible finish to continue the winning streak for Lake Orion. This put them in the district final against Davison on May 31st. Once again, Lake Orion would come through with another tough win, 2-1. In the regional semifinal on June 6th, Lake Orion would take on Heartland. And unfortunately for the Lady Dragons, this is where their season would end, with a tough loss, 2-3. Heartland would go on to the state finals, where they would end up losing to Rochester Adams. Again, this was a tremendous season for the girls' soccer program, as they finished the season winning 12 straight games. This team is also quite young, and we could see them make another run next year. The varsity girls lacrosse team also had promise to potentially make a deep run into the playoffs as well. They started off on May 22nd in the first round of regionals against Howell, where they were able to take care of business quite easily with a 19-3 victory. Then, on May 29th was the regional semifinal against Lakeland. This was a much tougher match and was close all throughout, but Lake Orion was able to sneak out the victory 11-9. This advanced them to the regional final against Heartland. Heartland had a very similar record to Lake Orion, but this was where Lake Orion's run would end. Heartland would get out to a decent lead and never look back as they won the game 16-7. Another quality season from the Lake Orion girls lacrosse team. The Lake Orion boys lacrosse team was also in the mix to make a big run in the playoffs, as they have been the past few years. In their first round of playoffs, they would face up against Macomb, Dakota, where they easily took care of business, winning 11-2. For the regional final on May 29th, they went up against Port Huron, where again, they would make quick work of their opponent 11-3. So Lake Orion was able to advance to the state quarterfinal against Heartland. These two teams had faced off earlier in the season, where Lake Orion lost in overtime 13-14. So this time, Lake Orion wanted the sweet revenge in the playoffs. However, Heartland was not going to make it easy, and in fact, they made it almost impossible. Heartland brought their A game and beat the Dragons 17-2. An unfortunate end to the Dragons season, but it was just Heartland's day, and it seemed like Heartland had Lake Orion's number this season as they beat a Lake Orion team in soccer, girls, and boys lacrosse. The hardest part was that if the Dragons were able to move past Heartland, they would have faced off against Brother Rice, who they were able to beat earlier in the season, which could have put them in the state title game. However, Detroit Catholic Central beat Heartland in the actual title game, and in the end, it was another fantastic season for the lacrosse teams, and we can expect them to be back again. The Lake Orion softball team also kept the spring season going as they finished their regular season with a 32-5 season, being one of the best teams in the state. However, softball is always a tough sport to make a playoff run because of all the games played throughout the playoffs. Lake Orion started districts on June 1st where they beat Rochester 11-0 in 5 innings, and then they beat a tough Stony Creek team 5-4 to win the district final, showing just how tough it is in these playoffs. They then moved to the regional tournament where they beat Utica Ford 5-0 and then Macomb, Dakota 5-4. The Dragons would now enter the state quarterfinals on June 11th. They were able to take care of business, beating Lakeland 9-7. This would then put them in the state semifinals against South Lyon, who was trying to make it back to the state finals again after they won the title just a year ago. This was a crazy game where South Lyon took an early 4-0 lead at the top of the second inning, after a nice single up the middle to score the first run, and then a big 3-run home run from Ava Bradshaw, who actually was injured after the home run celebration at the plate. This being a huge hit to South Lyon's lineup, Lake Orion took advantage of the missing bat. In the bottom of the second, Lake Orion got their offense going after Maddie Eckert hit a deep single to center field, scoring the first run for Lake Orion. This was followed by a bloop single over the second baseman from Addie Dukas, getting another run in. Then, Sydney Bell got a sac fly to score the third run of the inning, but a pickle led to the third out of the inning, with Lake Orion still trailing by 1. However, in the bottom of the third inning, Lake Orion quickly tied the game with a sac fly from Anna Gardner. And finally, Alexis Hazen got the other sac fly for the Dragons to take the lead 5-4. After this, both teams locked in with their pitching and defense. Lake Orion was able to claw their way to the state final. In the final on June 15th, they would face off against Hudsonville, who was undefeated on the season. And unfortunately, Lake Orion was unable to overcome the powerhouse. Hudsonville would win 5-0 over the Dragons and complete the perfect season at 42-0. A tough spot for Lake Orion to lose when they were so close, but you have to hand it off to Hudsonville for doing something so special. Lake Orion's spring season was one of the best all-around seasons we've seen in quite some time. It was definitely something special to see. Can't wait to see what is in store for next year's sports. We will be back in a couple months with more updates as we round back to the fall season.
All right, thanks, Joey, and congratulations to the Dragons for going as far as they did in that tournament, and we'll get them next year, right?
Yeah, what a great season.
All right, joining us now is Chelsie Petrusha from Orion Township Parks and Rec and GLEC and all that stuff. And looking at this list of stuff that's going on, I might have to call an audible. We're going to go another hour just to squeeze all this in. Chelsie, we're going to have to get right into it. First of all, we mentioned earlier in the program that first day of summer is this Thursday, I believe. Yeah. And so we're celebrating, right?
Yes.
What do we talk about our celebration on Thursday?
All right. So last year, being at the Orion Center is our Summer Sizzle on Thursday. Pretty bittersweet, but it will be a great night of carnival games, bounce houses from Oakland County, performances by, we have someone who comes and sings to the kids every year, and it's
That's
jammed.
Guy Lewis. Is that Guy Lewis in Chautauqua Express?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's great. Hot dogs free. It's all free. Free. Face painting. We have a great partnership with all of our sponsors, and it's just a great night. It's going to be warm.
And it's just show up, no registration.
Exactly.
Just show up.
Right.
Yes.
Is it only for Orion Township residents?
No, it's for anyone. Anyone can come out.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Better get some more hot dogs. I don't know.
It's a family favorite for sure.
It really is.
On the backyard of the Orion Center. So
now, obviously, I've been thinking about the future of this event because of the move that's taking place. And I went to Google Earth and I was looking at GLAC, and you got a lot of property behind the building. So do you think next year Summer Sizzle might be on
for
that
sure.
property?
Yeah, we toyed with the idea of having it there actually this summer, but we were like, let's do one more year. I mean, it's a bittersweet thing for us because we do love this facility. But yes, next year you will see it at Great Lakes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of the athletic center, how are things going over there? And tell us about it.
It's exciting. It's very fun. A lot happening there. Membership is really increasing every day, especially with the summer and the pool. We're seeing like a huge incline in just traffic through the facility, and it's really cool to be a part of. It's been a really exciting time in our department. So.
Now, when I was there a few months ago when we were shooting video for the State of the Township address, we shot video at the indoor pool.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is there an outdoor pool?
There is an outdoor pool.
La-di-da.
I know, with a slide, diving board, zero depth entry, lap lanes, and it's just booming. I mean, so many people there. Yesterday was a hot day, and I went out there, and it was just very exciting to see so many people coming out and
the
being
buzz
a part
is
of it.
so positive right now too. I mean, the
agree.
improvements that you guys have made. I was looking through the list. It's unbelievable what you've already accomplished, and a lot of these were not necessarily exciting improvements to most, but I am hearing so much from members, new members, about how the facility just feels so much fresher, so much better already. And obviously we know there's a lot of exciting changes coming forth.
Yeah, for sure. We have plans of grandeur, and we're just starting to get going on that. So the public will see those things hopefully within the next month or so, and transitioning to that recreation center, which we all are very excited about. But for now, it's just exciting to be a part of what we got going on. Staff is doing awesome. Lifeguards, fully staffed. I mean, it's just, it's a cool thing to be a part of.
So there are I take it these are annual membership fees, but there are also day passes. Does a day pass give you access to everything?
Exactly, yes, it does. So for $10 for residents, $12 for non, you can come in and you have full access to the facility. Yep.
So cool.
Yeah. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, seniors can pay the $7 if they're a resident. So we do discount it on Tuesdays and Thursdays for seniors. So.
Okay. Now, I don't want to go over all this
you
stuff
don't
right
have
now
to.
because we're pressed
that's
for
a
time,
lot.
but if someone wants to get all this information, there's a Orion Township website.
You're going to go to orionparks.com.
That's right.
You can go to Great Lakes Athletic Club, or you can go to register here, go to memberships. You can see everything there. Or I would just say come on in. Come into Great Lakes, get a tour from one of our membership advisors, and kind of feel it for yourself, because it is cool to be a part of.
It's an amazing facility. Very cool.
It is.
Now, the summer concert series was supposed to kick off last week, but there was a threat of thunderstorms, which I don't think ever arrived. That was kind of a cruel
it was
joke.
a beautiful night. It was such a bummer. But hey, we got safety first is always the mantra. So
So the North Oakland concert band, who was supposed to kick off the season, got rescheduled for tonight, as a matter of fact.
That's right. Yep.
So
North Oakland
will
is
be there tonight.
Yep. Exactly. So that's, again, something you can see online, Orion.events. The whole schedule is out there at Wildwood, of course. That's what we're talking about. You got to head over to Wildwood, Johnny Black's concessions, and have a great time watching, listening to music. And
every Thursday it's free, movie or concert, and kind of alternates, I believe.
It does, I believe, yep.
And then, of course, the exciting Friday, Saturday night shows. This past weekend, holy cow, 600 tickets sold for the Rockstar concert out there. So it was packed. The hill was packed. You start thinking about all the gems that we have, and that you guys do such a good job with programming and partnerships to make sure that we have great things year-round, really, for the community. It is really an exciting time here in Orion Township.
Summer is where it's at, for sure, in Lake Orion. And the community shows up. I mean, it's just really cool to see. We have a great community that really loves everything we do. So thanks
bring
to
your
them,
chairs,
it's
bring
very
your
popular.
blankets, and you said there's concessions, so yeah.
Yes, yep,
No
Johnny
excuse.
Black's. Yeah, exactly. Plenty of parking, so come in.
Yeah.
All right. Now, an event that we usually have out here in the parking lot. Every once in a while, I'll be sitting at my desk and I'll hear people honking their horns outside. I'm like, what is going on?
I know, I
I'm
love
like,
it.
yes, car bingo. Talk about car bingo.
So this is bittersweet for me because this is one of the events I started during COVID.
Yeah.
And so we do it every winter break, spring break, and this is summer break, car bingo, and it's going to be sponsored by Texas Roadhouse, who has already been an amazing partner with us. I mean, they just opened, a few months ago, and are giving back to the community already so much. So we're very thankful for them. July 17th, 1 o'clock, again at Orion Center parking lot. And we will keep this going at Great Lakes as well, figure out the logistics of that, but it's fun.
And this is another thing that is open to
free.
all residents or anybody. Just show up and you
Yeah.
can participate.
Yep, exactly. Summer's really fun because you can be outside of your car. You don't necessarily have to be in your car. We'll have a boombox going so you can hear it from wherever you want to be. You can be in the grass. Some people pack a lunch, bring a pizza, and have a good time in the parking lot.
Very cool.
It seems so silly, but it's really a great time.
People seem to love it. Our
Yeah.
parking lot's
Popular.
always
I
full.
know,
Yeah,
it's so popular. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun for kids.
Now, there's also a lot of stuff going on for seniors. Let's kind of quickly go through that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are, the senior programming is just bustling. Let me get it all over. So the first thing is picnics in the park. We do this every summer, and we spotlight every 3 of our major parks. So this upcoming, we already did Camp Agawam. That was
really nice,
a
by
few
the
weeks
way.
ago. So now we have Friendship Park coming up on Friday, July 12th at noon, and then Civic Center Park Thursday, August 8th at noon as well. And it is sponsored by Pomeroy Living, a great partnership we have with them as well. So they will bring in the food, and it's just fun to spotlight our parks and let people come and have a reason to go out to the parks. Sometimes you don't want to go out there by yourself. So.
Right. And then dinner and dancing. That sounds fancy.
Yes. So trying to give some more evening events. That's one of the things that was requested when we surveyed our seniors. They really like having the opportunity to go out at night and do something in the afternoon rather than being here in the morning. So we offered dinner and dancing last summer, and we're doing it again this summer. So again, you're getting a dinner and then live music, and get your dancing shoes on and dance for a little while.
Right here at the Orion Center.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
And then every once in a while I'll see shuttle buses out front. And
Yeah.
where are you taking these seniors?
Yes, trips are popular. So if you are interested in all the things I say, please go register quickly because I think a lot of these things are selling out. We're going to Jimmy John's Baseball Stadium Thursday, August 15th. That's $15 for residents. They are doing the Northeast Oakland Historical Museum, I believe, in Oxford. And that one is Wednesday, July 24th. We're going to Firekeepers, Four Winds Casino, and Gun Lake Casino. The casino trips are super popular.
I can imagine.
Motor Coach, that's November 20th and 21st. So you'll see that in the fall Orion Living. That one's really great. And then this one I love. This is one of the last things I did before I got my new position, but I grew up in Irish Hills.
I've never been there.
Irish Hills. Brooklyn is where I grew up, so they are going to Irish Hills Fall Color Bus Tour, which is in October, so that'd be really beautiful. A lot of great countryside and then wineries, so that one's in October.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Wow.
Now this thing caught my eye. It's not necessarily geared towards seniors. I guess seniors can play if they want, but sand volleyball.
Yes.
Are we going to do a team? I thought.
We might, but you might want to have EMS standing by.
Yeah. We'll get the chief to make sure he's got us staff.
We'll slot that.
Where is the sand volleyball court?
So we have sand volleyball at Civic Center, but actually we are doing it this summer at Great Lakes Athletic Club. So there are 2 sand volleyball courts out back property past the outdoor pool, and it should be a great time.
That's
Lots
awesome.
of
Is
fun.
there one for seniors or is it just for younger people?
All ages.
All ages. All right.
I think you have to be 16. You have to be 18.
Oh, well then
there you go.
I think we just made the cut.
Just barely.
Yeah, so you
must be this high.
it starts Monday, July 1st through August 24th, 6 to 9 at Great Lakes Athletic Club. You can sign up for a 6-person team, or if you don't have 6 people You can also reach out to Tyler Carpenter and you can do a free agent. So he's trying to compile free agent teams. So if you are like, I don't have anybody that wants to play with me, don't fret. We could form a team for you. So
nice.
And before we throw it over to Quick Hits, youth sports physicals and registration. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
quickly?
So we just literally ended spring sports this past weekend, and now we're already on to the next.
No rest.
Fall youth sports starts. Registration already has been going, so make sure to register your kids up for fall sports. And then we are offering, with partnership with Ascension, youth sports physicals. So all that is on our website as well.
Will that take place at one of our facilities?
I feel like it's at Friendship Park.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's amazing. I don't
Sorry,
know about
guys.
you, but when I see this list of how many things, and obviously we both lived here and been here for a long time and witnessed it, I don't understand how you guys even pull it off. I mean, you have so many events and everything seems so well run.
Thank you.
Your team must really be busting.
I think it's just, I mean, when you're in Parks and Rec, that's what you thrive on. Like, it's truly like our Disney World is what I like to compare it to. It is, like, you're creating that fun environment for your community. I mean, it's the best job ever. So yeah, we strive on being busy. I mean,
that's great.
I think you're
how it
succeeding
goes.
and
Yeah.
maybe overachieving slightly, but keep that up. I guess for the community where living is a vacation, this is an extremely important part of it.
And I mean, we're lucky. We're very lucky to be where we live because not every community has the amenities we have and the nature and green space we have. So we've got to use it. I mean, that's just what comes with the territory. So.
Yeah. OrionParks.com. Becky put a lot of effort into putting together this week's Quick Hit, so let's go to that before we run out of time.
The Lake Orion Lions Club Jubilee kicks off this Thursday. The Jubilee runs from Thursday through Sunday in downtown Lake Orion. The weekend includes lots of activities for all ages. For a full list of events with dates and times, visit lakeorionlions.org. Heat up your summer this Thursday with a mini family staycation right here in Orion Township. The Township's summer sizzle includes carnival games, face painting, bounce houses, balloons, grilled hot dogs, and more. All of this family fun is free for everyone beginning at 6 o'clock at the Orion Center. Grab your family, lawn chairs, and blankets for a free movie night at the Wildwood Amphitheater this Thursday. The theater will be showing Lightyear at 7 o'clock. For a full list of free Wildwood events, visit orionparks.com. Come play in the mud at the library this Saturday from 2 to 3 o'clock. The event will be meeting in the reading garden and feature lots of STEAM activities with lots of mud. This will be messy, so please dress accordingly. The library will also be hosting a teen do-it-yourself pineapple succulent planter program on Saturday beginning at 2 o'clock. This is the perfect summertime program for students in grades 6 through 12. Please register at orionlibrary.org. Well, it looks like the hot temperatures are going to stick around for a while. Wednesday's forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies with a high of 93 and low 72. Evening storms on Thursday with a high of 92 and low 66. Evening storms again on Friday with a high of 88 and low 70. Isolated storms on Saturday with a high of 91 and low 72. And partly cloudy skies on Sunday with a high of 89 and low 64. Well, that's it for this week's ONTV Quick Hit. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thanks, Becky. And that pretty much brings us to the end of the program. Don't forget Summer Sizzle on Thursday. The temperatures are going to put the sizzle in Summer Sizzle, but there'll be shaded areas and refreshments and places to cool off. And you could always come into the beautiful Orion Center if you have to.
Or you could run over to Glack and jump in the pool.
There you go.
Hey, thank you for having me on, Joe.
Thanks
I really
for coming
appreciate coming out and being a part of it. I know things were a little tighter today, probably, I'm guessing because I tend to talk a little, but thank you. This was great, and what an exciting lot of information to share that's so exciting for our community.
It is. No, thanks for coming out, and you yourself are doing great things in the community, and I look forward to seeing you out and about.
Yeah, well, I'll see you on the lake for Flare Night.
That's right.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Someone's got to do it. Yeah. We'll see you next time on Orion Today.